all right, I'm gonna do all of us a favor and try and keep this nice, sweet, and simple. But who knows how long this motherfucker about to be, because I'm done. I'm absolutely tired of this shit. I can't do it no more. So it's the fact that if Voidskulk, it doesn't matter how much we stated, how much it needs showed to be true that Voidskulk needs a buff, but it clearly is just never gonna happen. We're done. Like I'm done asking for it. We might as well all quit asking for it, because it's not gonna happen, because the developers are scared to do something because they genuinely think that she's going to be insanely broken when she's already in an insanely weak state right now. And if you are any of these motherfuckers who are saying, oh, she's really good right now, or she's super oppressive, motherfucker, she's the one who gets oppressed in Chase. What are you doing? What are you going to do going against anyone who has decent chase stats? After that, all you have is just the gen rushes you could possibly kill. But even then, as long as the person has decent enough stats, they don't even have to be a gen rusher. They just need decent enough chase stats to do fine. And even then, from time to time, I see Voidskulks get looped by gen rushers even here and there. But that 10% volt speed, it's non-existent. It doesn't exist. Do not sit here and tell me that you see it. No, you don't. I loot Voidskulks in and out. It means nothing. Void is ass. Every single Voidskulk I go against is booty cheeks. Okay? And let me rephrase that. They're not booty cheeks. The killer is. I have yet to go against a Voidskulk that actually is winning. Okay, you can be winning, but I need you to start screenshotting the before the round starts. I need to see the people you're going against, because you going against level 100s, level 200s, level this, that, the third, and being like, oh, she's not that weak. I don't care. Level 300, level 300 and stuff, motherfucker, they're still learning the game at that level. I need you to be going against people who are my skill level and up, especially when it comes to smarts. Because if you're smart enough, she's weak. If you're good enough, she's weak. All you need to do is be able to learn how to loot, and you good. Because her holding a gen lock ain't gonna mean stuff against 8 people. You're not holding a gen lock. And then that gets me into the next thing I want to talk about. Stop making killers based around gen locking. It doesn't work. We see it. It doesn't work. Gen locking just doesn't work. I don't care. The gen locking aspect of this game just does not work. Period in the story. Gen locking is so, and I mean this, gen locking is so situational, it's not even freaking funny. It's sad. And I mean that too. Gen locking is so situational. And if you don't agree, if you don't think it is, or you're like, how exactly is it situational? Let me go ahead and give you reasons why it's exactly situational. Why is it situational? First off, you need 8 people in order to you need at least 7 to 8 people if you're even planning to try and gen lock. Because have fun gen locking at 6 people. Okay, have fun gen locking at 5 people. I'm gonna just let you know right now, that shit's not finna work. It's not finna work. So have fun trying to do it though. Have fun exactly trying to do it. I'm doing my best to keep it civil. I'm doing my best to talk being nice, but I just cannot be nice when you have people like this who want and say, oh, she's good, or this, or the third. No, she's not. She's so bad. Okay? But that's besides the point. Back into why gen locking is so situational. Then aside from that, you need to make sure you're on a good enough map to gen lock, because believe it or not, certain maps just aren't really good to even try to do a gen lock on, because it's just not it. If you're losing against a Voidskulk, there's a potential out there. The potential thing is that some of the gens might be extremely close to each other, but then even at that point, you can hold a gen lock with another killer. I was able to hold a gen lock on my stream as possessed on hospital. If the gens are close enough, you'll do fine. You'll do decently fine. And how come I was able to keep up that gen lock? Because I'm actually oppressive in chase as possessed. But I'm not trying to compare her to possessed. I'm gonna compare her to any killer that's got decent enough chase. Principal is probably the only gen patrol killer that I actually see working. Because he's the only one because why does he work? Because out of all of them, he's the only one that's actually good in chase. I don't care. I'm going to stand on that. I will stand on that. The rest of them are bad at chase. I'm surprised during my Banshee video that I even managed to win every single match that I went against. And you know why I won? Because those people were not good. I was above them in skill level. So if you're telling me that she's good, there's possibility that you're going against people who are just bad. And you can say, oh, you can make the statement that going against any good people as any killer could potentially show that the killer might be bad. No, because any other killer you'll be doing decently fine. Like honestly, gym patrol killers and mobility killers are probably like they're the two weakest killers currently. Like when it comes to the state of the game, like those are just the weakest killers because like it's just true. Like, but even then, when it comes to actual mobility, a lot of people like to say Unforgotten's not that good, and I can see why. But honestly, I do like Unforgotten at least has some chase pressure. At least can do good in chase, uncompared to Voidskulk, who can barely do anything in chase. The infect means nothing to people. It literally doesn't. Like people will go and walk on a gen while infected. They don't care, or work on an infected gen. They do not care because there's no pressure that's being applied to it. 10% is nothing. If 10% means absolutely nothing. If you like literally, it needs to be at least 15 or 20% for it to actually feel oppressive when it comes to the gen pressure. Like buff something about her. Like if you don't even want, if you're too scared to buff her because of her gen patrol potential, just change her altogether. Because making a killer based around gen locking is the worst thing ever. It's just the worst thing ever. And then on top of that, and then more on to why gen locking is so situational too. Do not forget that if your people you're going against are smart enough to know your killer, to know that you're gonna gen lock, then they're not gonna let it happen at the early game where everyone can simply, you know, spread apart on all those gens. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. If you see a Voidskulk, you instantly think genlock. We all do. There's a reason she's got the queen of genlocks in her name. We all think genlock. So do we let it happen? No. When we see an android, do we try and let him get that genlock out? No, absolutely we do not. You see, we've seen what happens if you let the genlock happen. Just on my last stream, No Words was on my stream. He was playing Android. He did decently good. He did good as Android. He had one good game as Android, but does that mean Android's good? No. You can have your good games here and there as a killer. That's true, because if teams maybe make a mistake or aren't smart, or you just had a good game that time, that makes sense. But anyone can have a good game or a bad game. But when your killer constantly has bad games after bad games after bad games, it just says something. Like, let's talk about Unforgotten, for example. Why is Unforgotten so bad? Maybe because the whole point of their aspect was completely removed with the fact that by the time you reach 20 bleed out, everybody in the world can see you. It's stupid. Why do that? Just communicate. Use communication. Because now let's talk about Stalker. Stalker gets her 5 minutes to shine, and everybody like she's broken now and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, I personally agree that she didn't need to keep her in the invisibility of not seeing people constantly after being hit, but it doesn't change the fact that people were calling her strong because they couldn't see them, when that's your fault. You need to start getting on the down person's head for not coming and telling you, like, look, I got down right here. I got down in the area like this, so y'all can put y'all mental strength together. Don't blame the killer because your teammate was a dumbass. Don't blame the killer because your teammate was stupid as fuck and wasn't telling nobody no shit. And again, don't go saying the killer's good because your team are stupid ass niggas who can't do shit. Don't do that shit, because you guys are too constantly basing your killer around your low level ass fucking lobbies. Base it around motherfuckers that are actually doing shit and actually know what the fuck they're doing. I'm tired of this shit. I'm literally tired of this shit. And they clearly are not gonna do that. What the fuck is 5 seconds gonna do, bitch? The fuck is 5 seconds gonna do, motherfucker? I'm done. Fuck Voidskulk. I'm done with that shit. I'm playing Possessed now, nigga. I'm done, bitch. Fuck the intro, the outro, I mean, ho.